Hey guys, today we're joined by Trev and Sue from Poshcats Camping. Hi guys.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
That's nice to meet you. Virtually,
nice to meet
at least.
you as well, virtually. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for doing this.
Welcome.
And coming on the channel.
It's a pleasure.
We really appreciate
I feel
it.
honoured.
We've been following Trev and Sue for quite a while now, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We like your blend of using the motorhome for weekends and trips and not necessarily being full-timers. And we've talked to a lot of full-timers recently,
We
so
have, haven't
it's
we?
time to talk to more people who use their van like we use our van.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to use it as much as normal, have we?
No, we call ourselves more timers rather than full timers.
In non-strange times, how often would you use your van?
Last year was a difficult year, as we know. But the last 2 years we've done 90 nights, and last year was 80 nights, so it was fewer. That's
many.
nights out in the van.
That's still a lot of nights. We do about 3 months of the year, so that's a bit similar. Very similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we would be able to use it more because now I'm only working on the bank, so I'm not on a permanent contract anymore. So we'd have more freedom if it wasn't for COVID.
Absolutely.
It has restricted all of us, hasn't it?
I took the plunge and retired early in September 2019, and thought, well, we can do some more travelling. So Sue did the same in April, and then she's gone back to do some part-time.
What do you do, Sue?
I'm a nurse, so I work in an eye department.
Oh, in an eye
So-
department. Gosh, so it's been
Yeah.
all changed at work as well as at home, I guess, with the new ways of working.
Yeah, well, I had 8 months off due to sickness.
Yes.
So I handed my notice in and then went back. Lucky enough, they took me back on a bank as a bank nurse. So it's lovely because I can go in at short notice to help them out, and I can work when I choose to. So we work
Brilliant.
we better work around our motorhome weekends.
So it's really flexible, and we work around looking after our 2 granddaughters and taking care of your mum as well.
Yeah.
But she doesn't need a lot
She's
of taking
pretty
care of,
independent.
but we're here for her if she needs us.
And how are you feeling now, Sue? Are you feeling a lot better?
I am. I'm still in pain, but I'm much
Oh.
less than what I was. It's controlled on medication.
Okay.
So
That's good.
yeah, I'm hoping in time that will heal itself. But you just have to make the most of what you've got, don't you? Really,
Absolutely.
and adapt your life around it.
I love that you're starting off by planning your motorhome weekends and then fitting everything else in around it.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Priorities. Get your priorities right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter allows me to see her online rota, so we've got all of the babysitting or childminding dates in our diaries already right up to June. So that gives us, we can fill in the gaps because we plan our annual leave together, so that we've now got a 3-week holiday planned for late August into September.
Fingers crossed.
And that will be fingers crossed, yeah. As long as the Scottish allow us to cross the border, that's where we'll be in early September.
Oh, wonderful.
So we've got that planned, but of course the ones that you fit in between need to work around the diary more closely. So
What about yourselves? What have you got planned?
Well, we have a ferry to come back from Spain that we rearranged from last year because we headed into France and drove back. But we don't think we're going to be able to get abroad this year. But if we can, we will. So we're really waiting, and we'll make that decision, and we'll go wherever we can. We'll go as far as we can. We want to go back to Croatia as well, but I just don't think European travel is going to be on this year.
No. Maybe next year.
We'll be all over. If we can get out and about, we'll be Scotland, we'll be Cornwall, we'll be wherever, all around the country.
Yeah, lovely.
And
Good
definitely
plan,
going and visiting family and
Yes.
grabbing some hugs. I've got some
Yes.
hugs to catch up on, I feel. To go
Yeah.
and squeeze my dad and your mum. Give them a good squeeze.
Yes. So you guys have been travelling in caravans and motorhomes for how long?
all our lives.
Since 1984. We bought
84.
our first caravan in 1984.
Yeah, we actually
Wow.
met in 1978, and Sue's mum and dad were already caravanners. I think they they'd moved from tents to caravans by that time. So that kind of was the seed that helped us to grow our caravanning passion, really. So our first caravan was 1984, wasn't it? The Alpine Sprite, yeah.
Wow.
And we towed that originally with a little Toyota Hi-Ace van, which was my company van. The company allowed me to use that locally until I got the Volvo 240, which was the big estate Volvo, big heavy thing, but beautiful tow car at the time. And we travelled around with that for a couple of years, didn't we?
Yeah.
And before that, did you do tents? Did you do any touring?
Well, we did a
tent,
couple of pup tents. We had a motorbike,
And
you
a
see.
motorbike.
Yeah, we went through the biker phase together. Whilst I was an apprentice electrician and Sue was doing her nurse training, I would fly backwards and forwards between Ipswich and Norwich on a motorbike. And so that was the early days, if you like. But the caravanning did take a break for a couple of years, didn't we? While we had two little children, two babies came along, and we had a house move, and then we felt it was time to start again. So we got an Abbey, can't remember the model number, but it was an Abbey caravan, 4-berth, and we were able to start all over again.
And then we got involved with running the rallies, didn't we?
We
Which
did,
we ran for how many years?
Well, Sue's mum and dad, particularly Brian, was very keen on the caravan club, as it was then, caravan and motorhome club as it's known now, and they have local centres. So he was very keen to go out as often as he could on, with maintaining a fairly constant budget, and it was a really good value, wasn't it? So we latched onto that as well, the rallying. It was mostly local in Ipswich and sort of surrounding area, Suffolk, Norfolk, Essex, in East Anglia. But we did that for years and years, didn't we?
We had some fabulous times. We had loads of fancy dress parties, and they were really well attended. Everybody supported us, didn't they?
Yeah. We ran rallies in the end. We became rally marshals, and I was on the committee for 13 years.
Oh wow!
So we really got involved with it.
And rallies are fantastic for children as well, aren't they? They tend to create their own friendship groups, and it doesn't matter if it's a couple of months between seeing each other or if they see each other every weekend. They just get on again, don't they?
They do.
They gravitate to
Absolutely.
each other and pick up exactly where they left off and carry on.
We do rallies with motorhome.com at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's a cost-effective, it's like £10 a night with electric often. It's a cost-effective way, to go camping. So, many people that don't know about rallies probably look into that. It's a much more cost-effective than just going to a campsite.
Yeah. I don't think we've made some lifelong friends.
They're having a hard time at the moment because they can't allow group meetings. So, with all the restrictions. So 2020 was difficult, and again this year there's a late start this season, but hopefully it will get back to where it was.
I'm sure it will.
We still go from time to time, don't we, to some of the rallies to meet up with old friends.
Helping run one in July, weren't we?
Yeah.
Shortly.
We'll do that.
With
Still do that.
best buddies. Yeah.
We'll do a vlog.
Do you ever wild camp, or is it mainly at sites? How?
I know you mainly do sites.
We have wild camped when we're in Scotland. It's a confidence thing, I think. Getting used to. I like to know where I'm going. That's my problem. We did try and stay in a car park at Felixstowe near us, and then we got all these boy racers honking their horns at us.
Yeah, we've
at
experienced that.
11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And that frightened me and put me off. So we drove home and just parked on the driveway and spent the night on our driveway.
Oh, bless.
And we drove off the next morning and found somewhere else. So that was a sort of an experimental weekend. But we have done some wild camping in Scotland, haven't we?
It's just such beautiful surroundings. It's just, you can't beat waking up and seeing the Scottish mountains.
I agree.
When we have wild camped, I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just having the confidence really to do it.
We did the NC 500. Have you done that route? Right up the top?
We've done parts of it. Because it is 500 miles, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
And we've kind of included Skye, and we get a bit distracted. So rather than rush it, we've done bits of it and then left the rest for later. which is always a good thing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We really loved the road to Clactol.
Yeah.
That was our favourite road.
It's the West Coast,
the
really,
most
isn't it?
windy, narrowest. You couldn't see what was coming round the corner.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And there's so much to see. People often ask us, don't they, for advice, or where would you go and what would you do? But the best advice is to get up there, keep your eyes and ears open, and don't rush it.
Yep.
You know, it's one of our favourite spots, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And trust that instinct as well. If you're nervous about somewhere, you're not going to
Off-grid,
enjoy being there. So it's worth moving on. If you don't get that nervy feeling, then trust your gut.
Yes.
Enjoy.
So I feel encouraged seeing that you've got a large motorhome and you wild camp, because what put me off ours is because we've got an 8-metre motorhome and you can't just nip it in a little spot, can you?
We love
try.
wild. Yeah, we do try. We love wild camping.
We love your motorhome.
Thank you.
We love your motorhome. There's probably an opportunity right now to put a picture of the two up if you can.
Absolutely.
As a big and little brother.
Yes, that's what they are, isn't it? Of course, I know you've got you've got Oscar and Sophie. Of course, we've got three boys. So there's 5 of us living in here. So we need that extra space right now.
And to be honest, our
of course you
eldest is man size now,
Yes,
isn't he, Eddie?
he's as big as me now.
Yeah,
Is it?
tall and skinny.
Yeah,
bless
we've been
him.
watching your vlogs, so it's fantastic. A real family. The holidays that you've done, particularly the Spanish ones, going across on the ferry, and amazing.
It's a shame we've only been vlogging for a year now, so we're pretty. But we've done some amazing holidays. We've driven down Italy and we've gone over to Greece on the ferry, and then we've done Albania, Montenegro, Croatia. 3 years, in fact, we've been to Croatia. So we really try and get around with the boys and show them as much as Europe as we can. You know?
Yeah, I'm not sure they'll ever fully appreciate until they've got their own children how much of the world they've already seen.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
And I think when you vlog and when you record it on film, or even if you take a lot of photographs, you're looking for those shots, and you do appreciate more the place that you're at. Wherever it might be.
Yes.
You think, and Sue's pointed out 1 or 2 shots between buildings or birds, or, that are flying above something, and you think, that's a really nice shot, and they're the real, they're the money shots, as it were. Yeah.
So we've caught up on some of your some of your catch-up vlogs, where obviously you've been looking back at the past trips, and some of your footage is really old. How long have you been really old in the best way? How long have you actually been vlogging properly, and how long was just for your own records, your own history?
Well, the channel, the Poshcats, started in 2017, really, didn't it, Sue? When we got the motorhome, we were filming more, and I guess I have to put a plug in for our friends Bob and Jenny Earnshaw, because they have a similar outfit to us. Just purely by accident, really. I think we've met them, and we're very like-minded, and with similar backgrounds. And
Bob's very much into his vlogging. Yes.
I'm not nearly as good as Bob and Jenny, but they inspired us to do it in the first place, and I guess that's really. 2017 it grew into what it is now, and almost really just naturally. It's
fantastic.
Sometimes it's 2 or 3 vlogs a week. If we're out and about.
So while we're on it, the name then. How was it become Poshcats? Where did the name come from?
A long story short, really, isn't it? We used to have, we always had cats, right from when the children were small, and we met some people and bought 2 Burmese cats, didn't we?
Yeah, we had 3 in the end.
We had 3 in the end.
We bred them twice.
And we bred them, and they were show cats. So we, during the 1990s, we would go all over the country when my work allowed to show our Burmese cats, and we had one Grand Premier, didn't we? She was a champion and Grand Premier. Her name is Pearl Shimmer, a very pretty Burmese cat, and lo and behold, we sort of stopped doing that after I had my car accident, didn't we?
Yeah.
I had a life-changing car accident in 2001. So we stopped caravanning for a while, and the cats became too much work for us. So for me to get well again, we got back on track. And
what happened in the car accident, if you don't mind me asking, Trev?
well, it was I was going to pick my son up quite late on a November evening, about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening, and Suffolk's quite rural, and his friend was out in one of the villages just outside town, about 15 miles out, and I was going around quite a bendy road, and another car came at me from on the wrong side of the road. So
Ouch. Flipped the car upside down.
Yeah.
That's my little KA, wasn't it?
it flipped.
Wow.
Oh,
You're okay now?
Back fit as a fiddle, really.
Really?
excellent.
Took a while, you know.
You do enjoy your walks. I know that when you get out and about.
Yeah, that helps. I still got the
get
metal
pain.
work in my legs, you know. But give them a little bit of oil and a few hills to climb. They're fine.
That's why you've got a motorhome and you don't fly, so you don't have to put the set the beepers off as you go through security with your metal.
Oh, yeah. I used to work abroad, and also we travelled. Even though we were caravanners at heart, we because I worked for long periods away from home. Sometimes it was quite difficult to set the caravan up, and there's quite a lot of work with caravanning and motorhoming, isn't there? You know, the setting up and the organising. And there just wasn't time with Sue working as a nurse and me as a full-time project manager, and I was running international projects, so I was all over the place. So we all saved our summer holiday and cheated really and flew somewhere warm, didn't we? So we've done quite a bit of Europe and America.
Getting the right balance.
But we always came back to the caravan and motorhoming
Absolutely.
for the weekends and the trips whenever we could.
Trev or Sue, remind us what motorhome you have right now.
A Bolero.
Yeah, it's a Swift Bolero.
Terrible, wouldn't I? No, numbers.
Swift Bolero. It's a 2017 model, and it's the
Can't remember the number.
No, I can't. It's we'll put it on the screen.
Oh dear. It's not 524. No, it's not.
It's 724.
724.
Fantastic.
And
with a French bed.
Is that the first motorhome you bought? Was that the first one from
Yes.
Caravans? Oh, okay. What made you make the switch?
Oh, that's really interesting, and I think the reason we switched was because we were, although we weren't quite ready, we thought, we'll do it when we retire, and I wasn't quite ready to retire.
Our friends.
Our friends changed. Nick and Carol are long-term friends, and they're really, we still go out with them quite frequently. And they changed to a motorhome, didn't they? And we went to, as you do, the NEC, and we saw what we liked.
Yeah.
And I was standing inside this van, not this very van, but one like it.
Yeah.
And I said to Sue, if ever we change, I think this would be the one. And the salesman was
Just popped
standing
out.
just outside the door. So he said, "Oh, you like this, do you?" So
He was very clever though, wasn't he? Because he said, if you put the deposit down but hold it till Monday, then you've got the weekend to think about it. Because I didn't want to commit there and then.
So we held it with a £500 deposit.
Trev managed to talk me into it, as he always does. So by the Monday, we said we'd go ahead with it.
And that was 17, was it? So what, 3-4 years on?
March 2017.
Is it still the right layout for you? Is it still the right van?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
definitely.
so.
I haven't seen anything I like any better, to be honest.
No, we
Brilliant.
keep looking. We think it's 4 years old in March, so it's of no age. It's only got about 16,000 miles on the clock.
Perfect.
And we keep it immaculate, don't we, Sue? So there's no need to change. The nice thing about this layout for us is that we have the little dining area down the front here where we're sitting, and then we've got a double bed just to the rear of the van, and then a washroom across the back.
The rear
Instead of the corner. Some of them are in the corner, but ours was right across the back. So there's plenty of room down there to shut yourself off. Sue goes to bed earlier than I do, so we pull the screen across, and I carry on with with the
Editing.
editing.
I was going to say
while she's
video
in bed.
editing.
Do you have the same thing?
Pretty much.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sometimes, for instance, in the summer when we was away, I was often getting up at 4:35 in the morning to edit
Gosh.
and get on the road.
Crikey.
When you need, I do say you need a holiday to recover from our holidays, because really
Yes.
we do one night here, one night there, 2 nights here. We don't stay. I've got ants in my pants, so we really
Yeah.
have an exciting adventure, and we just keep moving and keep moving.
So that's the beauty of having a motorhome, isn't it? You can just up and go, can't
the
you?
thing is, we've still got caravanning in our blood. So to begin with, we would book 5 nights, and
Yeah.
we think, well, actually, we've seen everything we need to see here
Yes.
in 3 nights.
Yep.
And we've learned over the 3 or 4 years that we've been motorhoming that you can actually do 1 or 2 nights and move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Which we had to learn that in a way. And
That's the difference.
one of the things that we've also learned is that by having the car, we can still be caravanners, because we've got the little car
Of
that we
course.
can get down all the lanes
Yes.
with.
You tow the car behind you. Do you tow it every
That's
time,
right.
or only on the
Not
longer?
every time, no.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, for example, if we went to Scotland, we wouldn't,
don't.
because we would do, 1 or 2
moving on.
nights and keep moving.
Yeah.
But if let's say we went to Wales, and we took the car, we were meeting friends, and there was 1 or 2 places in Wales that we wanted to get to, but we knew that the motorhome would be difficult.
Yes.
Yeah. That
So
makes
it has to be worth towing the car, otherwise just leave it at home.
I was going to say, Sue, you'd be anxious at the way we holiday, I'm sure, because I know you like to plan and book. All we book is the Eurotunnel on the way out and the way back, and we book nothing else.
Yes, I know. I did notice that.
We wing it day by day. If we end up somewhere that's
Yeah.
good, we might stay a little longer. We don't book anything.
That's a bit of a fib.
Yeah.
This year we winged it a lot more, but in previous years, or last year we winged it a lot more. In previous years, we've had a route planned with 2 or 3 options.
Oh, but nothing booked.
But nothing
booked.
booked,
Don't get
but-
me wrong. I plan it.
No.
I book nothing. I book
Yeah.
no campsites
Yeah.
or anything. I have campsites written down that we're hopefully going to check out. I have wild camping spots written down that we're going to check out.
Yeah.
And if we feel comfortable, we'll stay at the wild camping spot, or we'll go to a campsite. But
Or if we need a shower.
We don't book
or
any.
a
We don't book any
swim.
campsites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we still we're like you. We still do the research, and although the difference is that we do have those nights booked, so we know roughly where we're going to be throughout the 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And nothing's fixed in concrete. You can always move things around and change your plan, but that suits you better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What makes a perfect site for you then?
The location is the ideal choice, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, we're always
Um,
looking for something a bit different.
I mean, the caravan and motorhome sites, we do use a lot of them, but it's sometimes nice to use an alternative one to that. And what I really liked about Scotland is that we went on places like Glencoe, and you've just got beautiful scenery all around you. Otherwise, when you do go to club sites, you do tend to get the same thing, don't you? I mean, you're just looking at other motorhomes with
Yes.
not quite such scenic views.
They're lovely
So I
sites.
think-
They're often clean and
But
beautifully
they're-
kept sites, but yes, they are
Yeah.
very similar, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
over the years we've done all sorts of sites, and we tend to come back to either the club ones or the group sites, like Tranquil Parks and Premier Parks and this sort of thing, Best of British. And it's not necessarily for the facilities or the clubs or the bars and this sort of thing. It's just everything's laid out nice, and it's the location as well, as you said. So
And you
isn't
feel
it?
secure, don't you?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I think there's pros and
Yeah.
cons wherever you go, really.
We did Ferry Meadows recently. I knew that was one that you did last year, Ferry
Yeah.
Meadows.
Yeah,
That's,
beautiful.
that's a lovely location.
It is, isn't
'cause
it?
you've
And
got
the walks around the water there, they're
the
fantastic.
walks around
Yeah.
the water
and
that,
the steam
yeah.
train.
And the steam train. Yeah, we got that on video. we managed to get that on the vlog.
I think I need a clipboard next time I go there. Make a note.
And I like the York one as well.
Oh,
It's right
yeah.
near the city, but it's a job to get on it.
Roundtree
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think we've managed
Yeah.
to stay on the York sites.
No, we did do a wild camp in the car park of that train restaurant when we was in York.
Gosh, that was
Remember
a long
that?
time ago.
That was some time ago, wasn't it? But no, Yeah, we need to do York again.
Yeah.
I know the train museum up there is a great day out, and it's free as well. So it's a great day out for families at the train museum.
Yeah, we enjoyed that.
That's right.
Yeah, we did.
All the kids enjoyed that. I saw a wonderful photo of the Northern Lights that you took.
Oh, yes.
Tell me everything about that trip, please.
Lindsay's so gagging to see the Northern Lights.
Definitely.
We both are.
I so wanted that was really an early 60th birthday. My 60th isn't till next year, so it was very early.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
I've got to interrupt here because I know all the ladies are going to be watching this asking, what on earth do you do for your skincare regime? Because you have not aged from those photos I've seen from when you were very young.
Oh,
Your
thank
skin's
you.
incredible.
Oh, do you reckon? Thank you. No, just very basic, normal cleanser, Asda's cleanser and moisturiser. Nothing really expensive.
And a good camera.
Yeah, and a good camera. That's
bless.
definitely. Thank you.
And a good husband taking good photos as
Yes.
Yeah. So I said, oh, let's book it now. You know, life's too short. We'll go early.
Yeah.
And we had 3 flights there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because you had to fly to
we flew
get a different flight to Bardufoss Airport, didn't we? Because it was so high up in the Arctic Circle. Every evening we'd be out looking for the aurora, and we met all these really lovely, like-minded people, but you didn't know what they looked like. You'd go and have breakfast in the morning, and we'd think, oh, I recognise the voice, but I didn't know what you looked like.
Because it was dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
So
see?
we'd all stand about in the dark for 2 or 3 hours, till 2 in the morning, waiting for the aurora.
Wow.
And I think we saw it 3 out of the 5 nights.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
wonderful.
best night was when Trev went on the photography lesson on the Saturday. It was us and another lady that we met, and that was when we really, really saw it above our heads, and we managed to catch it on film, didn't we? It was just absolutely fabulous. You
Wow.
know, I just can't believe that we saw it. I'd highly recommend
It's
going
a bucket
if you
list
wanted
thing.
to see the aurora.
We have to see the aurora. Yes, especially Lindsay. She's so excited for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
think
was absolutely
if you can get
fabulous.
if you can get up in the Arctic Circle, either Finland or Norway. We were Senja Island.
Tromsø's good too. We were.
Yeah.
I'd like to take the motorhome up there. I'd like to.
I think maybe we could try
Yeah, so
Iceland
would we.
as well.
Be careful. It was -22 when we were up there, so and that was February.
You could take your motorhome up though for September. They still see the aurora in September,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
and they reckon that was the best one in September, just
Wow.
before it gets cold. That's what we
you
would
need
like
to
to do,
start coming south in October, really,
Yeah.
because otherwise you'll get caught in the
Yes.
Scandinavian winter.
Yeah.
The heating's good in here, but it's going to struggle at them temperatures.
I'm more worried about the wheels on the. On
We
the
were in a
side.
Ford Transit van, and he was driving along at -22, and there was funny things happening with the door seals and the mirrors.
wow.
And
But they've got like metal studs in their tyres, and they
Oh,
just
my
drive
goodness.
around like normal,
Wow.
as if there's no snow.
What an adventure, though.
Yes.
What an absolute adventure.
Yes.
But I wasn't very good on the sledges.
yeah.
I came off the sledge.
Sue crashed the husky sled.
I was gripping hold of it, and that was
bless you.
taken off in front of me, and I was being dragged behind it.
Oh, no.
We had
I was the
we
only
had
one that did it.
we had Trev Cam and Sue Cam, but unfortunately by the time that happened the batteries had failed.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and the sled.
Oh, what a shame.
Darn it.
A you've been framed moment that would have been.
It would have been.
Yeah.
That would have been.
Oh, gosh, how exciting, though.
So what's been your favourite, apart from the trip to see the aurora, what's been one of your favourite trips you've done in your motorhome?
Oh, Scotland. That
It's the
wins
Scotland one.
hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
When we stayed on the beach, Staffan Beach,
On
for our
Skye.
anniversary. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was my favourite moment. We wild camped.
Perfect. And that was a good wild
See?
camp, right?
That was a fabulous wild camp.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Things happen, don't they? I mean, you're probably finding this with your motorhoming, that you'll arrange something and plan something, and then it will just click into place. And that particular night was a clear night. The tide had come up all round our van. We were in the dry on the beach, but it come up all around the van. And then I said to Sue, "We've got to go outside. You've got to come and look at this." There was a full moon. You know,
wow.
I mean, it was just sheer luck. And the light was so beautiful. with the water and the mountain behind us, as it were, on the beach camping.
Oh, I got
That's
goosebumps. I
magic.
know. I can imagine.
Magic.
That's fantastic. And breakfast with a view the next morning, of course.
Absolutely, yeah. Doggy walks with a view, it was.
Oh,
They enjoyed it because they had a run on the beach.
Yeah, there's a beach there.
wonderful.
Where are the dogs now? Are they
They're
with
in the
you or-
house.
In the house.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
yeah, they're in the house.
Curled
Oh,
up
lovely.
next to the radiator.
Yeah.
You know.
Like our children, trapped in the house.
Yeah.
What's one of your favourite trips that you did with your children when they were younger in the caravans?
Cornwall was always popular, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We enjoyed going down on the beach.
yeah.
when we
we-
were little, didn't we? And
You
surfing.
spoke earlier of our early videos. We do a few Throwback Thursday videos.
Yes.
Yes.
We've seen
We've got a lot of footage from when I was a bit of a gadget man, and we bought one of the early video cameras that we had a job to fit in the car. You know, one of those really big ones, and it was about 1989, 1990, I think, when we went to Cornwall, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
we took the trailer tent and we towed it all the way to Cornwall with a
It was
mini
12
metro.
hours to get there.
We had
mini
a maroon
metro and a
mini
trailer
metro.
tent. Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the trailer tent was probably twice as heavy as the car. It was a long journey, and it was the only time we did it. We went back to caravans after that.
Good choice.
But that was
Yeah.
probably the best. I mean, there's so much to do for the youngsters down there that we, the zoos and the beaches, as Sue said. So
Yes.
it's probably the best trip, really.
Yeah.
It's been mainly the UK. Not many European trips with the kids. No.
No, we didn't. No, we
No.
went abroad in the first time in 1995 when we actually flew. We took them abroad, but we didn't take them abroad in the caravan.
Gotcha.
No, we took them abroad by air. I guess the favourite trip abroad was the one to Brittany with our fellow ralliers. We went with the
Yeah.
Suffolk Centre. There was a group of about 20 vans down to southern Brittany. We had the Range Rover then, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the twin axle.
Oh,
I could have an evening of stories about that trip.
The children.
But
brilliant.
so we did have some help by a Frenchman, didn't we, when we got lost?
Yeah.
And almost ran out of fuel. And the story goes on.
The children had left. You know, they're older by then, weren't they?
We had a Range Rover pulling a twin axle caravan as well, exactly the same.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did, didn't we? Yes.
Yeah.
Just before getting into a motorhome, that was our last one.
We didn't actually go very far in it, did we?
No, we
The
didn't tow it.
local
I didn't like
campsite.
I didn't like towing it too much, to be honest with you. Yeah. So, especially the amount of fuel it used in the Range Rover.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we're quite
Yeah.
thirsty.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I believe you've done a fantastic trip that we've also done. San Francisco. Your photos
Yeah.
of that looked fabulous.
Well, I'm very
Yeah.
lucky because I've got my younger sister moved to America in 1964. She's a bit older than me, but she got married and moved to California in 1964. So it's mandatory that we have a holiday there every 5 years.
We
Perfect.
haven't lately.
And it's coming up. I mean, it's nearly 5 years again since we've been.
Wow.
So each time we go, we do something a little different. And I think the favourite, one of my favourite trips was when we went down Highway 1, you know, the Pacific Coastal Road.
We did that.
We couldn't do it in an RV. It was just out of our budget. So we chose some hotels and we stopped here, there, and of course
We've got to talk
it-
about the 2011 holiday, haven't we?
It's
the
That
two.
was the best holiday ever,
Go on
I'd
then.
say. We went through trail finders and they planned it for us, didn't they?
Yes.
They were really, really helpful. And we actually went to Las Vegas and then we drove to the middle of nowhere, didn't we? We stayed in a hotel in Las Vegas, then we drove to the middle of nowhere and stayed with some cowboys, didn't we?
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. On a ranch. Yeah.
Rode a horse, sunset horse ride with champagne.
Perfect.
But my horse kept trying to, it kept rubbing its face against my Sheila's horse,
Yeah.
and its bit came out and it started moving away, and I was going, help, help me, help me. And these cowboys say, what are you doing now? And they had to come and put the bit back in its mouth because it was trying to escape.
Yeah, that was a
It'd have
trip.
to be me, wouldn't it?
That was a trip for our the Big 5-0, wasn't it? The Big 5-0 trip.
And then we went to New York, didn't
So
we?
we did the 3-hop. We went into New York and had time there. It was just after 9/11, so they just opened up the memorial there, and we were some of the first people in when they'd opened that up. So that was the first step of the journey, and then we went from there to Vegas, then to the Grand Canyon on the ranch, and then to California.
Perfect.
And we've done so many trips. We're so lucky, really.
Absolutely,
with
you're well
California.
travelled. Absolutely.
We've renewed our wedding vows out there in
Yeah,
2007 as well, didn't we? Yeah. So
Besides renewing your wedding vows, what was your favourite moment on all of those US trips? Because obviously renewing your wedding vows has to be the top one. But
Yeah.
there's so
other
many. I mean,
moments-
there's Lake Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe is beautiful, and the Yosemite Valley. I mean, there's so many, and we've still got dreams of going back to do other national parks over there.
We drove around Tahoe and those that had snow, hadn't they? And we were playing his Christmas music, weren't we? The CD that we bought.
Yeah, and that was soon
was
after I'd
beautiful.
managed to get back on my legs, and as I said earlier, that was quite a long recovery, and never thought I would be walking in snow ever again. You know, and quite an emotional moment to walk in snow or walk on a beach. You know, the things that you do every day that you take for granted. That I was able to do, and the first time I walked in snow was up in Tahoe, wasn't it? Yeah, amazing.
Wonderful. We were in LA and California 2 years ago, around about this time.
Right,
so
yeah,
the
we're
end
getting
of
the
February.
memories are popping up on Facebook right now of the photos.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we got an amazing deal on the motorhome.
Yeah,
It wasn't terribly well insulated for winter.
we got it for $1,500 for 15 nights. So this is $100 a night, and I couldn't get hotel. I'd need 2 hotel rooms for the kids and us. So it's actually a bit of a bargain because it was this time of year. It's out of season, and we picked it up in LA, and we did LA, and then we did Vegas, then we did San Francisco, and then we did that Pacific Coast Highway that you did back down to LA again.
Yeah.
So we totally know that, you know. And there was snow at the bottom of Lake Tahoe. There was snow there. It was fantastic. So
Beautiful.
totally.
Beautiful, isn't it?
So did you see the Big Sur and along the coastal road there?
No.
And Yosemite was in excess. We couldn't access it because of the snow.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was. We was driving down some roads where the snow was like 15 foot high either side of the road.
Yeah, the road was literally cut into the
Carved
snow.
into the snow. Yeah, we was very much out of season. So, although we did do Death Valley, we did stay at Death Valley.
Oh, we've not been there.
And we didn't die.
And we
So that was
slept the
good.
night in Death Valley. Yes.
And when we were in Vegas, it snowed.
And it snowed in Vegas, and it doesn't
Yeah,
snow very often in
Not
Vegas.
very often
Fantastic.
at all.
No.
But
it
that was
rained
a
when
really,
we were there. And
It was it was a really good tip. Just booking out of season or out of school holidays, or just pick one of the holidays that's just 1 week and then spread out either side of it.
$100 a night, so that was a cost-effective RV then. But I think
Yeah.
in
Really
season,
good,
it's twice that, 3 times that in season. Yeah, we did get a deal.
Yeah.
You have to do it, don't you? I mean, it's if you're going, you know, we booked a helicopter ride, didn't we, across the Grand Canyon, and we had what they call a champagne breakfast in the they landed the helicopter in the Grand Canyon, and it has to be alcohol free because of the Indian law. But we had a breakfast, didn't we?
We both got travel sick.
Oh. we weren't ill, but it was a close call. Helicopters don't just go up and down and forward and back. They twist and turn.
Right.
And you're in a glass bubble.
And it's like five people in a goldfish bowl, you know.
It sounds exciting, but
With
I guess
headphones on.
Yeah.
That sounds more of a choice to me than going down on a mule, though. I can imagine they use donkeys and mules. I'm actually reading a book about a murder in the Grand Canyon right now. But the helicopter ride sounds fantastic.
That's a must, I think, next time for
definitely.
us, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
That is another bucket list thing. Yeah.
Well, we took a half-day tour from the hotel. We were staying at the Mirage, and they'd got a half-day tour which they took you to the airport in a limo and brought you back in a limo, and then you had this helicopter ride which took you over the canyon and then back down the strip.
Yeah.
So you went over downtown Vegas and then back down the strip, so you could see all the hotels and
Oh,
resorts
wow.
as you came
Yeah.
back.
With all the lights, I'd imagine, lit up.
Yeah.
The strip that looked fabulous
Yeah.
coming back.
Fantastic.
Do you have one piece of advice for someone buying their very first motorhome or caravan?
I think you should. They need to research it well. They need to take into account where they're going to keep it, whether they need to keep it on their drive, what size it needs to be.
Yeah.
Take that into account, because obviously the smaller you are, you've got the less space inside your motorhome, but you've got more flexibility. You can park it more or less, in a normal parking space if it's 6 metres, can't you?
Yes.
And then to have the layout what's suitable for you, really, to look at all the different layouts, and to so maybe jot down on a piece of paper, what is important to you, whether you want a fixed bed or a bed that you've got to make up. If you have got that, you've got the flexibility of a living area that you can use during the day and then sleep on at night, haven't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's layout, really, isn't it?
Yeah, layout and size.
Yeah, and I think in terms of budget, you could easily be frightened off by some of the big price tags of some of the newer motorhomes. To begin with, you can make do with a lower budget motorhome and see if you like it.
Yeah. Good advice.
It's not for everybody. It can be quite hard work to begin with, fetching and carrying. But,
I think over the years we've just bought 2 of everything now. One for the van, one for the house. One for the van, one for the
Yes, yeah.
It's just fresh clothes and fresh food.
Yeah, I leave clothes in here, and the cupboards have got food in all the time, and ready to just jump in and go any time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pick the kids up from school on a Friday, head off for the weekend. It's the beauty of it.
and if you haven't got the food, you can always call into the supermarket on the way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, it's a question we always ask, but it's a very important question. So, what's your favourite gadget in your van?
Can I go first?
I think you better.
It has to be my little handheld Dyson, because with the dogs I wouldn't be without it.
Perfect.
So much easier than...
And what was the other one? You had a reserve, didn't you?
The reserve is my straighteners.
Oh,
Lindsay as well.
yes. Yeah, that's one that I've got 2 of. I've got some in the house and I've got some in the van as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've got some 12-volt ones as well.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they work
Pretty
well? Are the 12-volt ones all right?
Yes, they are pretty good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they do work quite well.
Oh, I don't know. My hair is very, very curly and frizzy. It takes a lot to tame this crazy camping hair.
The only thing is the plug is the push-in one.
Trev, do you have a favourite gadget in the motorhome you can share with us?
Well, I went through the gadget phase, really, and now I'm in the minimalist phase, I think, because the only real gadgets I take are what I vlog with. We don't have an inverter. We rarely use the TV, and so we don't have a satellite or anything like that. We're enjoying the great outdoors. We're in a phase where we're cutting back on gadgets, if anything, I think.
What would you say your sat-nav?
Well, the
sat-nav is really good.
Yeah,
the one
we've
we've
recently
got
got the Avtex sat-nav, and we do use the iPad on the dashboard as well with Google Maps. But I mean, they're all practical gadgets, really, and the cameras and the laptop and all the bits and bobs that go with the vlogging.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, Trev Sue, it's been fantastic having you on. Thank you so much for
Thank you very
sharing
much.
all your knowledge
And your experience.
with us.
Yes. Thank
It's
you.
been fun. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for having us.
And
Not
it's been
at all.
lovely meeting you.
Yes,
Actually.
virtually.
Yeah, and you.
We hope we can bump into you hopefully this year when we're out and about.
Yep.
And let's hope we can all get
Yes.
travelling.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to the other interviews, and congratulations for the series
Thank
of
you.
interviews. It's been very enjoyable. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's been a great way to get to know people. People that we know at some point
Yeah.
we're going to meet in a field,
Yeah.
around a campsite. This has just been a really lovely way to...
Whilst we're not able to travel, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on, guys. We hope we're going to catch you guys sometime later this year. in person.
I'm sure we
Yeah,
will.
lovely.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye then.
Bye.
Look, we've got exclusives.
Yeah,
That's news to me.
It's just a little cozier. We did, believe it or not. Yes, Luke will probably be like, "What? Really? Would you hate it?" It's not true.